Hey everyone, welcome back to your favorite pirate crew. Today we are going to see all the fruits that were named in SBS. If you would like to see more about One Piece in our channel, please leave your thumbs up and subscribe to join our pirate crew. Back when Haki wasn't as well known or even mentioned, Akuma no Mi users often proved to be absurdly powerful, causing not only us to be curious about their abilities and capabilities, theorizing about how far things could go with the use of the fruit, but we also saw the characters themselves going head to head and pushing themselves to the limit as they could. Thanks to this, there was a lot of talk about what might happen if other characters in One Piece could consume a specific Akuma no Mi, or possess one, according to Oda's own criteria. And it was precisely this doubt that made one of the fans ask such a question, and the author himself answered it in an SBS. It is about this revelation that we will discuss today. For those of you who don't know, some of the secret information and trivia that we suddenly find out about comes a lot of the time through SBS. Translated, SBS would be Suru Boshu Shitsumon, as in I am accepting questions, or in Panini's translation, the Always Good to Know session. SBS is a question and answer column sent in by One Piece fans where Eiichiro Oda reveals information about the story and the characters in general. This column first appeared in Volume 4. It was in the SBS column that the age of the Straw Hats were first revealed, as well as various facts about the story that are not obvious at first glance, but may be present in the chapters themselves. Sometimes information about the characters is suggested, and in some cases demanded, by the fans themselves, like when they talk about the personal details of the characters. Some of these have been shown here, such as the birthdays of Tony Chopper, Nico Robin, and Tashigi, and among several others. Their dates were suggested by fans, and then Oda stated that the birth dates given were official, or even personal data such as age, height, among others. There are several typical jokes or customs that have been formed over the course of the SBS volumes, including the fact that a reader always manages to start SBS before the author does. SBS is also where the author revealed the existence of hidden characters like Panda Man and Tomato Gang, who are hidden in the background at many points during the series. Due to the nature of the SBS and the appeal of One Piece, Oda answers questions of all kinds: silly, serious, or immature questions, often being able to give answers to the point, being serious or silly. The SBS are displayed on a single page, between the end of a chapter and the cover of the next one. In the case of a chapter that starts with a double color spread, there is no SBS, since both pages are taken up by the cover. This page can also be used to display images from a Usopp Gallery pirate set, or Usopp Pirates Gallery, instead of an SBS. Prior to Volume 50, the header logos were common to all SBS chapters and designed by Oda, but following a fan request at the end of SBS Volume 49, the header logos are designed by fans and different with each chapter. During SBS 98, a new wave of information came out. Among them, one of the questions referred to possible Akumas no Mi that Oda would give to the Straw Hats if he could do so. The question in question was number 18, asked by 420 Land, which read, if Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, and Frankie became Akuma no Mi users, what kind of fruit do you think they would eat? That said, Oda replied, I see, that's a pretty fun question. What I'd like to see is... And then he went over the following information about the Akumas no Mi of the other crew members. Zoro would probably receive the Uo Uo no Mi, mythical type model Seiyu. In Portuguese, we can translate to fish fruit, mythical type model Blue Dragon. At first glance, it seems like a rather strange fruit, doesn't it? After all, seeing Zoro, until then a swordsman, being able to transform into a dragon or something similar would be, at the very least, a mix of funny and somewhat fucked up, depending on what such a change looked like. However, according to Oda, he has stated that he would like the sword to transform into a dragon instead of the swordsman himself, which would probably be really awesome. Another pretty cool thing to mention here is about this fruit here of Sanji's. After all, the full name of Kaido's devil fruit is revealed as Uo Uo no Mi, or fish fruit, mythical type model Seiryu. Seiryu, being literally translated as blue dragon, is one of the dragon gods of Eastern mythology. In Japanese folklore, he was said to be one of the guardians of the ancient capital of Japan, Kyoto. This may be related to what was said about Kaido being recognized as a wise guardian god by the people of Wano. As for the name, the reason Kaido's fruit can be called Uo Uo no Mi, fish fruit, instead of the Ryu Ryu no Mi, dragon fruit, is because this name is already used by the Akuma no Mi's line of dinosaurs. This is because, although in many Western languages, dinosaurs are derived from the Greek word sauros, or lizard, such as dinosaur, equal to scary lizard, pterosaur, winged lizard. In Japanese, dinosaurs are called dragons, since dinosaur fossils in Asia were mistaken in the old days for dragon fossils, and the word continued around. So, in Japanese, koryu as dinosaur means scary dragon, and yokuryu, read as pterosaur, means winged dragon, and among others. However, they are not recognized as real dragons, so the most suitable translation would be dinosaur fruit, as it encompasses all kinds of dinosaurs, such as king's fruit, which is not a dinosaur but a pterosaur. Since this name would not match Kaido's fruit, Oda probably called him a fish fruit user to separate him and distinguish the two lines, since they are separate types. This name is probably derived from the Eastern myth of the koi carp that climbed a waterfall for 100 years and became a dragon. Oda alluded to this naming convention in Kaido's laughter, Worororo, sometimes written as Worororo. Nami would receive Goro Goro no Mi, translated to Fruit of Thunder, being the lightning human, probably here being a paramecia. Not something very unexpected, is it? After all, the character has always been connected and made use in combat powers involving the weather and the region, and to this day she does. At the very least, that would make her absurdly more powerful. According to Oda, this would really make her a true weather lady, and now no one can really stop her, besides Luffy of course. Usopp would then receive the Poke Poke no Mi, or the Pocket Pocket no Mi, being in English read as the pocket fruit, actually allowing him to have infinite pockets all over his body. That would be just perfect for him, wouldn't it? Nothing too fancy or super powerful, but for his fighting style, it's ideal. In fact, it would be super interesting to see it in action. According to Oda, just as we talked about, this would be perfect for the character, someone who always has something up his sleeve. A rather interesting note to mention is that Poke Poke no Mi is the name of the fruit eaten by Flamenco, commander of Whitebeard's 6th Pirate Division, who was shown to have a devil fruit from which parts of his body turned into pockets, from which he could pull items of any size, being like infinite storage. This SPS is the first time this fruit has been named. Sanji would receive Sui Sui no Mi, or the swimming fruit. Wait, that sounds kind of contradictory, doesn't it? After all, those who consume devil fruit cannot swim. However, this here seems to break everything. In fact, while this seems to change practically nothing for him, it might change a little. Yes, for Oda, it would allow him to be able to slide down walls or swim on the ground. Yeah, that would be pretty crazy, wouldn't it? Depending on how you use it, it would be a pretty nasty ability, according to the author himself. For Frankie, then we would have Buki Buki no Mi, or the fruit of the gun. In fact, as Oda himself stated about this option, there is no better option for him than this. But in addition to those, we can mention another new fruit that was revealed to us by Oda. Not through SBS, but through the work itself until recently. After all, as we found out very recently in the manga, the fruit that Luffy consumed was not Gomu Gomu no Mi, but another one. It is called Hito Hito no Mi, model Nika, a typical mythical one that allows Luffy to transform himself and the things around him into rubber of the most absurd kind, playing not only with reality, but also with the famous Toon Force. This is what allowed him to defeat Kaido during the Wano arc in its entirety. There are probably still many fruits that we don't know about, maybe that we won't even get to know. Probably no Straw Hat will yet consume an Akuma no Mi, and maybe, eventually others will awaken and bring us new, unimagined discoveries. But this, and much more, we will only find out from here on out, as the Wano arc has just entered its conclusion, and we are heading more and more in the direction of the final arcs, and, eventually, the eventual ending of One Piece. But what about you? Do you think some of the fruits Oda mentions could have actually been given to any of the Straw Hats? Do you think they could be other models? Leave your opinion in the comments. That's it, my Straw Hat Pirate. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any suggestions for a video, don't forget to comment below, because I'll be reading them all as I always do. Also, don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any content from your pirate crew.